Okay, I'm in Blender. I'm using the Afterglow lighting asset library, and I have Studio Environment 6 with the 1x2 light pattern called Leafy applied to the ceiling. The way I do that is by selecting the ceiling light object, dragging the Leafy node group into the shader nodes, and then grabbing the 1x2 ceiling image vector from the flip direction node, and then plugging it into the color of the principal BSDF emission. Just to review these, let's take a look at the 1x2 border. So I'm going to grab the color output from that flip direction and plug it into the border node group, then plug that into the color. And we can see that this is immediately a very light dominant scene. Let me unplug the default strength and turn that down a bit. So this gives us a bit of control over the strength while maintaining the pattern. I quite like it actually, despite being very basic as just like two borders, with the inner one being thicker than the outer one. It gives us quite a nice coverage over the objects in terms of using those borders for a outline of the curvature. Notice how Suzanne is picking up on the borders there around the edges. So that's one thing to keep in mind, because it might be a trick to use if you have objects with complex curvature, knowing that depending on what the lighting setup is for the scene, the objects can pick up on that. Now we can recolor it and do all kinds of other things. What I'm going to do out of interest is just change the angle on the vector rotate node. Now this will squash it a bit, but you'll see that it also shifts the position of those border highlights on the object. Now when I'm relatively happy with a lighting setup, because these are entirely physical scenes, it means that we can then observe the object and we'll know that wherever we look, we're going to get something that is relatively balanced, because we haven't designed the lighting just for one specific camera angle. If you want to play around with these tools, Afterglow is available on Gumroad and Superhive.